talking to a muted mic. That would not good. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you to give thanks to Share World organization. As a school, I'm pretty sure they are very dynamic, and right now it's getting very diverse into more of a holistic planning process. So I appreciate Dr. Yoshida, appreciate Amy for the opportunity to speak today. And I only have about 20 minutes. Now, this is not a duration where I can explain everything to everyone in terms of how to plan your financial future. More importantly, how to plan for your financial situation so you are ready for your kids to go to college. Now, I'm a father of 3 girls. They all graduated from college, and my oldest daughter went to Rutgers University for a 6-year pharmacy program. That girl cost me about $250,000 for my household. So it's like bath water, just pouring out there. 6 years is a long time. So, and then my middle one, all 3 girls attended different colleges. My middle one went to UC San Diego, got her degree in web design, web programming, computer science, and music. And my youngest one wanted to become a teacher, so she went to Davis. So all 3 of them went through college. I wish I had a chance to work with places like Share World. I think I would have been that much better, not just financially, but overall planning. Because we didn't know. A lot of parents kind of shoot in the dark when it comes to planning for their kids. And I hope you won't be one of those parents that you are in control of your timing, because you know how old your kids are, what stage your kids are in, what needs they might have, school and otherwise. So today I'm going to talk about more on the financial side, and these are a very basic concept. Now the important thing is everybody's situation is different. At the end of the presentation or today's meeting, I hope you do register to sit down with somebody. By the way, we don't charge anything to plan out your financial future. And then if you want to leverage Share World, by all means, this is a wonderful place for you to go to figure out things for your kids and for your financial future. Now, I'm going to launch into this PowerPoint presentation. Now, Juna is our case manager, so her information is displayed here, and welcome to get in touch with her, and because she will funnel through whatever your needs might be to get you to the right place with the right people. Now, life is all about association. You need to find out information. Not only that, you need to take action and find out where's a good place for you to take the next step, so to speak. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit more details. I'm going to go pretty fast because I only have 20 minutes. I don't know what stage you are in. Your kids may be young. Maybe they're in middle school, getting ready to get into high school. And then if your kids are getting already in high school, you have only about 4 years to plan for college, right? And then when they get very busy, the busiest time would be their junior year, I believe, right? So you need to make sure they have time for you to work with the counselor in the appropriate area, right? So whatever stage you are in, so make sure you plan early. Now, if your kids are young, awesome. Start saving early, okay? Putting the money away is wonderful thing, right? Warren Buffett said, rule number 1, never lose money, right? Rule number 2 is never forget rule number 1. So make sure you save the money in a safe place. And then if your kids are age 16, 11 to 16, well, you need to put a lot more money, meaning save faster, right? And also asset positioning or repositioning is very important. And when your kids are a little older, in their high school, you need to figure out whether your money is in the right place or not. So because you have a lot of consideration like flexibility, tax benefit, and how do you increase your chance of getting really good financial aid? Now that's on your shoulder, parents. I'm so sorry. Your kids have no idea, but you are in charge of your finances. So you need to figure out, how do I pay the least amount of tax, okay, everywhere you go, which is true in terms of investment. And in your planning for college, you need to figure out, hey, where do I put my eggs so I get the most benefit when it comes down to paying for college tuition and room and board and all the good stuff, right? So now, as we all know, this slide is pretty simple. College expense, cost of attending college, it has been increasing crazily, right? So I heard a minimum of 7% a year, all the way to 15% a year, depending on which college you go to. My daughter went through 6 years at Rutgers. My middle one went to UCSD. My youngest went to Irvine and Davis, right? And those UC colleges are not cheap either, right? Depends on whether you stay in a dorm or whether you live outside. It has a lot of factors. So you need to start saving early, okay? If you want to go to a private school like Stanford, my goodness, you're looking at $80,000 a year easily, or even higher as we go. If your kids are young, while you plan on that increasing, will impact your financial situation down the road, okay? So if you have money, awesome, but you need to know where to allocate your money, okay? Financial resources, the list can go on, like scholarship, grants, work study, loans. How do you get aids if you have a military background? For international student, how do you get aid? I don't think we have a whole lot of international students here, right? Because most of us are local. And if you have money, guess what? You're gonna have to self-fund a lot of the stuff, right? And there's also tax scholarship. Now, the bottom line is this: financial needs is this formula based on the cost of attendance, which is how much you're gonna pay to put your kid in a certain school, minus EFC, which is expected family contribution, which is your ability to pay for college. Now, there are a couple places you need to go to figure out finance. The first place is a lot of us will come to familiarize with it very much, which is the FAFSA, okay? So highly recommend it, because right now it's already end of October, mid-October, end of October. You have a couple months because it's every year you need to fill that out online, and we highly recommend you do that. And if you do that early, that would be good. You have time to figure out your asset, how to position yourself, right? And then the CSS profile. You're welcome to take a picture of this slide. The links are very important for you. So go to those links and figure out things. If you need help, well, we're here to help, okay? All right, I'm gonna give you a few more seconds so you can take a picture of that, those links, which is vital to you, okay? Now, here's a formula for you, okay? Expected family contribution is based on parent contribution. That means your ability to pay is on the top, okay, in the formula, divided by how many student you have in college. Now, there's this 1 year, I have 3 daughters, okay? That year when all 3 are in school, hey, hallelujah, my youngest tuition was becoming the lowest amount that we have to pay, because we have multiple kids in school, right? Plus student contribution. Now, parents' income and parent asset will go to the top. And then on the bottom, you might have some student income. Now you say, hey, wait a minute, where's the asset income? Because we have ways to put money into their pocket for tax purposes as well, okay? And here's a link of all the resources. You can take a picture again for this PDF. It's a very informative PDF you can go to look at some of the formulas you can go through, right? All right, I'm gonna go pretty fast. Now, in terms of assets, pretty much all your money where you invest will become part of your asset, except some non-asset category. So I'm going to go through a little bit. The real estate, the place you live, your primary home, will not be counted as your ability to pay for college. So if you have a huge house, a lot of money saved there, no problem. That's your own home. That won't count as your ability to pay. But if you have rental property or rental income, or you have other trust fund like UGMA and UTMA. Now, I'm not going to go into details about those accounts. So these are the government allow us to put money under the kids without paying tax for the duration. Now, but it changes the ball game when they turn 21. You have to be mindful. Now, I'm not a tax advisor, so I'm not going to advise you purely on a tax basis, but there are places where you can go and invest your money. There is some tax benefit. Now, but remember, wherever you save the money in these categories, you know, your mutual fund, your money market, even your CD, certificate of depreciation, I mean, certificate of deposit will still count towards your ability to pay for college, okay? Now, a lot of parents thought about 529, okay? Now, I hope you know about that. Now, 529 is a tax-free way or penalty-free way to invest for your kids' college. Now, you have to keep in mind this fund inside a 529 program can solely be used for education purposes. So if your kids, when they grow older, they decided, hey, mom and dad, I'm not going to go to college. Well, then you have an option. You yourself can go to college and use the 529 fund, okay? Because this fund can only be used for educational purposes. Now, my spouse at the time, she put money in a 529. She almost lost her shirt because she didn't realize inside a 529 is mutual fund investment. You could lose money. It's not that your money inside is guaranteed. So the fact that you put money away for 529, awesome. But you have to be mindful how you manage the money inside those accounts. And in fact, I'm a fully qualified financial consultant. That's what I do on a full-time basis to teach people how to invest and save money. And most of the cases, I advise them not to put money in 529 because there are so many other places better to put their money than in a 529 program because it's you live inside that confine or that structure of how you can use the money. What if you have other places to invest, also tax advantage, and you have all the freedom to use the money as you wish now and for the future, right? So now here's a critical slide, talk about non-assets. Now this is a very important slide because inside the FAFSA report, there are only 2 places where you put money would not count towards your ability to pay for college. The first place is your own 401k program, which is individual retirement account. Your individual retirement account cannot count as your ability to pay for your kids' education. Okay, point number 1. Okay, and then the second place you can put money in without counting as part of your ability to pay for college would be any money inside of your cash value life insurance. I'll talk a little bit more about those 7702A program. You're welcome to go and Google 7702A, okay? Now, in terms of repositioning your asset, you have to be mindful to know how to allocate your asset, which is counting as your ability to pay for college versus non-asset. If you know how to move the asset based information or funding all the way out to the non-asset, hey, you win because on paper, you look like a poor person. So you get better scholarship, better loan, better grant, better everything, okay? So this is where we come in to teach, to educate our clients or potential clients, or in your case, a lot of parents, how to do that, okay? Now, here is a good summary slide for all of you guys. UTMA, UGMA, these are gifts to the kids or living trust that you set up for your kids' education. Now, they don't have a whole lot of flexibility, okay? But they do have some gift tax exemption. I think it's up to $15,000 a year, okay? And then Coverdale plan is hardly ever anybody talk about Coverdale plan because it's readily not available in most cases for you to invest, and which is really replacing by the 529. So you have a little bit more bells and whistles with 529. Now, earlier when I said moving your asset to non-asset, here's a major tool you can leverage, which is through your cash value life insurance. If you don't have any, I'm sorry, you don't have that tool in your toolbox. So make sure you acquire that tool in your toolbox so you have ways to reallocate your asset, okay? Cash value life insurance is critical in college planning steps, okay? So we can talk more about that as we meet with you individually and drill down to your own situation. Now, it may not be applicable in most cases, or you may not be able to even get that tool in your toolbox, but it's worth a really worthwhile conversation with all of you parents out there. We have over 35 people in this Zoom, right? So this information will impact you and how you plan out for your financial future for your kids, okay? Now, in terms of taking a step back, looking at investment in general, this is what we call tax scholarship. If you can avoid paying tax to Uncle Sam, that means you have more money to pay for your kids' education. Am I correct? Okay, so here are the 3 areas where you can invest money in general, okay? In the United States of America, these are the ways that you can invest. That's it. There's no more stuff outside of these 3 buckets, okay? The first bucket, we call it tax always, or 2 times taxation. This is the money that you make. You already pay your income tax. You take your money out to invest in these area, savings, CDs, bonds, mutual funds, stocks, or even your real estate will fall under this category, because when you make money, you will have to pay tax one more time. So 2 times taxation. The middle bucket would be what we talk about, the IRAs of the world. Your 401k, 403b, 503c, whatever your company or your individual contribution into your retirement. Now, those cannot count towards your ability to pay, okay? But nonetheless, it's a good way to invest your money, right? So a lot of us leverage this tax-deferred way to invest, because when you retire, you take the money out for your retirement. That's when you pay tax, and hopefully you're at a much lower tax bracket. Now, the last area where a lot of people do not get to be educated in this area, which is the tax advantage, okay? There are places where you invest, you don't have to pay tax in the future, okay? Roth is one of those. Municipal bond right now in California pays about 3%, but you have to be mindful, inflation in California is about 3.5%. So you're not making much there with investing in municipal bonds, right? And 529, it is a tax advantage tool, but remember, your investment can go down, okay? And then 7702A, which is really a tax code for cash value life insurance, happen to fall under this category. So you need to drill down to understand this 3rd bucket and how you as a parent planning for your kids' future can leverage this bucket as a way to invest your money. So your on paper asset will be that much lower if you have a way to invest in the 3rd bucket, all right? So now, coming back to the holistic planning, you have come to a right place at the right time, at the right juncture. Or maybe some of you are already existing parents that are leveraging Share World's resources. We are here to help in so many different ways, right? College planning, college funding, of course, is a major asset, portion of our planning. That's what we're talking about. But in general, you also need to know about investment. You need to talk about liquidity, risk, rate of return, and your ability to move things around is very critical during your college years for your kids, right? And then tax strategy is the major conversation when it comes to investment, all right? And your retirement can also be planned out here with us if you wish to. Now, of course, we set out to help all of you guys to do better planning. So if you take no action, there's nothing much we can do. But if you take action to meet with our counselor, our consultant, hey, you are going somewhere. If you don't like us, no problem, okay? At least you get an opinion about your finance and your financial future. So it's never, will never hurt you to get a second opinion, right? Just like people get some kind of illness, heard from one doctor, they say, wait a minute, I'm going to find a specialist. I'm going to find 3 specialists to figure out my situation. So finance is the same way. So listen to one guy, great. You might already have a financial advisor, awesome. So get a second opinion with us. So maybe you will learn something new that your financial advisor has not touched base in that regard, okay? Now, here we are, a holistic planning. one-stop shop. This is the place where you really need to take action to make an appointment with Juna. Juna is the case manager. She will funnel your needs through to the right people so we can be of help to you. So this is where Share World can contribute in terms of not just your kids' education, not just college planning, but also financial world, which is really wide open in this case. Now, final words. I really appreciate this time. I am not part of Share World. I'm a consultant, get invited. I'm so excited to share some of the information with you. And I am also a financial educator by training. And I hope to see a lot of you guys in the near future. And I hope the information will benefit you now and for your future. And I wish you all the best. All right, I'm going to pass the time back to Juna.
Okay, thank you so much for the awesome sharing overview. And as all of you know, financial planning is a very private